Hey, it is Dee, the Learning Mandarin Jamasian, and we are on day 2. So before we jump into day 2, let's go back and recap a little bit about day 1 because day two's words are a little harder. I have been working on the sentences for day 1, and I advise that you do as well. However, keep in mind that we really are only looking at the vocabulary, the 21 words that we have listed here, regardless of what words are in the sentences. Now, some of the words in the sentences you might not be able to pronounce, and that is totally okay. All right. Long as you get your vocabulary words, the sentences are there to show you context in which they are used. And when we dive into today's 2 words, there's a little bit more explanation behind the scenes that I'm going to be giving. Okay. So let's go over the 21 words for day 1's list. So this is the review. So it's wa, ni, ta, woman, niman, taiman, taiman. Then this is ja. And this is na, san, si, wu, liu, qi, ba, jiu, shi. Okay, so we have our words. We know what they mean. Okay, so and by us looking at the sentences, we're going to start recognizing things about the Hanzi, and that is the Chinese characters. Chinese characters is Hanzi. So the English is Chinese characters, and Mandarin is Hanzi. So let's go over day 2. Day 2 is a little tough, okay? I struggle with day 2's words, but that is the point of practice, right? So we're going to spend the day practicing the pronunciation, kind of looking at some of the Hanzi here and what we can get from them to help us remember it when we see it. Same thing applies. We do have the words. We do have it in a sentence. And there is some things that I'm going to tell you about as well. And I'm going to do a video separately on the rules that play into the Mandarin language, because there are rules, and that's kind of why you see Shema. And then it's like at the end, but it means what? So it's at the beginning, right? So there's some words and the way they are structured in the sentence, because Mandarin does follow the subject, verb, object like we do in English, except when certain rules apply, and then it switches. So you need to know those rules so we can know when it switch. And I'm still getting those rules together myself. This is not perfect, right? We are learning this all at the same time, okay? So this is right here is Shema. Like remember the E is kind of like Shema. And this is Shay. Now it kind of is familiar, similar to water. Okay. But this one is not the U, it's the E. So it is pronounced Shay. Okay. And then I have 2 of them here. This is how it is. It's, remember our na, right? Not necessarily like na, because it's like ba. Remember ba, ma, like a horse. And we're going to get to ba. Baba is dad. Mama is mom. But Baba is dad. And so you can see the BA and the MA. So the NA is the same. Now, so it's like na, R, nar. So just put it together, nar. And ER is R in the numbers. So when you say ER, that ER is R2. So you can see it either way. it means the same thing because ER is pronounced R, and then they just left the letter R there, right? So nar. And this means where. So you see the R is like this part, okay? And then you have the N part right here. Now, if we go back to day, you see we have, it kind of looks like this. So we have the na, right? Like ba, na. So we got the na real fast. Na. And then you can kind of see the shape of that. Now we over here, it looks the same as this one. Okay, the witch, except it got another Hansa with it. So it's the witch with the R with this one. So we know if we can remember this Hansa, we know it goes with the na with the third tone because it's the same as here. And that's kind of what I'm doing. I'm kind of recognizing the Hansa too. Not trying to remember it, just trying to remember the sounds more or less in the Pinyin, right? But then we're going to start seeing these Hansa over and over and over again because these are common ones, right? Now, this one is harder to pronounce. It's kind of like G, but it's T. It's like a T and a G at the same time. So it's like a T, 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 T. But it's kind of like Tien, Tien, T, T, because it's a third tone because it got that V shape. So it's a third tone, and this represents how many of something. Now, Z. Now, remember, this E is pronounced U, like So it's kind of like zun, like not sun, but zunma. So it's kind of like a zunma. That's kind of what that is. And then this is ma. This is a question particle. So like shamama. Like you might say shema ma. You might hear that in a movie. It'd be like shemama. So they're saying shema ma with this is a question mark. So this is how they change a statement like what with a question mark. So it's one thing to have what with an exclamation point, and it's another thing to have what with a question mark. So if it was what with a question mark, it will put this ma at the end. It'll be like shemama, right? Shemama. Because this is like ma, like ba. So it'll be like shemama, like, you know what I mean? If you were to do it together. And then down here, same thing is zama. And this is young. Okay. No. So like you got your ba. And then this A-N-G is like ong. Like that's kind of what it sounds like. So zun ma yang, and that's fast. That is second. That is fourth tone. It's going down, so it's fast. So you said zong. You don't even really hear the G when they say it. It's more of the A and the N, the Y-A-N. So it's more like zunma yang. You don't really hear young ga. Like you don't hear the G. You just stop at the end, kind of like with a little G, little slang. And then it's like, then the next word is year. This is nian, like tien. And then, so this is like tien, and this is nian. Now, here's another one that's crazy. So the J-I, that sounds like a TG. We have another one here that sounds like a U together. So it it's kind of like Yui. you. It's like you saying you, like, and you changing that you to an E while you saying the you. You. Like, so, and this is like the U with the 2 dots on the top. And we're going to see more of that as time goes on. Not on our vocabulary words though, but on an off day when we just talk finals and everything like that. So in sounds, because I'm gonna be studying these because these is rough, right? Because we don't have this sound in the English language. So our mouth is not accustomed to making this sound. So it's like a you. And this is how, real fast because it's 4th tone. Now this is another one that is tricky because their R's are kind of like J's. So, and then it's a 4th tone, so it's fast. So if we was to kind of say it slow, like this would be like the je in measure. Je. So it's like like you're saying measure, je. So you're doing that je. So I think a measure to make this sound. And then you have dien, like nien, tien. That's pretty easy. Now their X's is like S's or C's, right? So this is like sing. It's not, that's kind of what it sounds like. Kind of sounds like sing. And then this is like T. So it's like you saying a CHT or TCH. So it's sing chi. Sing chi. And this is cienzai. Yeah, it's kind of like cienzai for that. Because it's like nian cienzai. So it's kind of like a C sound or it's S. Could be either one. That's what it sounds like. And then tian means today. Ming tian is tomorrow. Zotian. Zo. So it's like going, these 2 right here are in 2nd tone. So it's like zotian. And then this is ba, fast, ba. This other ba is kind of like neutral. Ba. And then this ma is like mama. It's like straight across. And then this like how, as you can see the 3rd tone like in ni hao. So this is like lao. So it's lao shi. All one word, lao shi. That means teacher. Now here go that UE again, like over here, except it's with that X. That kind of sounds like a C or S. So that's another thing. It's kind of like shui, because it's going up, right? See, this one is going down. That's in 4th tone. This is in 2nd tone. So 2nd tone rises. So it's kind of like, it's kind of like shui. Remember we saying that you, but it's with the S sound because it got that, or C sound because it got that X. So it's shui. That's kind of what it sounds like to me. So it's kind of like shui. And then this one is You remember that E is like ugh. So it's shong. You don't really pronounce that G. I don't hear that G. Shong. It's kind of like shong. It's that UN sound. like So sheng, so shui, sheng. I'm gonna have to get that faster because that's all one word. Not broken up like that. So they say it fast in Mandarin. And this is Pengyo. Now, Y-O-U is yo. Okay, yo. So, yo. That means friend. So it's Pengyo. Pengyo type of situation. So let me move this here. So now that we went over these words that I'm going to struggle with all day, okay, some of them I'm going to know really quick. So I already know some of them like Mingtian, Zuotian, Baba Mama, Lao Shi. The ones that are easy for me to pronounce, those are not the ones that I really study hard. It's the ones that I have a hard time saying, where I try to listen to that sound in that word over and over and over again so I can get the sound correct as possible and try to mimic it as much as possible. But again, remember, I watch nothing but C-dramas, or Mandarin TV. So some of these words and some of these Hansa I catch during the show. You know what I mean? So it helps me, because then I can rewind it because I can hear how they saying it in real life, right? So natively, right? So it helps out a lot. That's why I'm saying sometimes that you don't even hear the G at the end, because I'm listening to real world, real natives speak it. And the thing about it is we study it just like anybody else that tries to study English. When they talk to us, it seems like they're speaking very proper type of English that we don't use. We don't say all of the syllables of words sometimes. And when we can tell when somebody's learned English, because they don't really speak it, they're speaking every syllable of the word. And we know that we don't say that like that. We don't say that. Like, I don't even emphasize the T. So it's the same thing. It's the same way. When they're speaking it, they don't really emphasize the G. And then even with this, it's like Zoa, like Zoa. But they're not saying Zoa Tien. They're not talking that slow. They're not saying Zoa Tien. They're not pronouncing every single syllable. They're doing it very fast, like Zotian. So it'll make you think when you hear them say Zotian. You would think it's spelt like yo, like Pengyo. You would think it's spelt like this when it's actually that, because the O and the U is backwards, because it's really Zoa. It goes up in sound, but they're not breaking it like that. So when you say Zoa, they're stopping at the Zotian. Like you don't hear the like the other part of that, because they say it so fast. But they know what you're talking about. So it's kind of like that. Now in these sentence structures I have down here, it kind of show you things like, what are you doing, right? I wanted to show you. So this, you might hear them say, like, this is like naga. And now remember that R is kind of like a measure, like zhen. Like that's what this R kills me, right? Now it's times, or it's one in here that I saw that I questioned. Now this G, you're going to see this a lot, that G is used a lot. But it was something where I saw a sh. Oh, it's down here on the one we did for, you see where it says Mingtian. It's at the beginning, because the rules of location and time, things like that, go first in the sentence or in the speaking structure, where really in English it'll come last, right? So we're going to get to the rules, but I think it's on Lao Shi. Oh, yep, it's on this one. No, it's not on that one. Student, it's on this one. Okay, this is the one. Now I question because I know this is student. Shu sheng, shu sheng, shu sheng. I gotta get that UE together, right? I knew that was student, and I'm like, well, how did it know it say college student? Because it say 我是. So 我是. Now, when we talk and say introduce ourselves, we also will say 你好. We might say 我叫. I am or my name is D. I was questioning, when do you use 我是 and 我叫? So I found the answer. 我是 is basically used when you're representing a title, like you're saying, I'm a student, I'm a teacher, not your name. Okay, so anytime you want to introduce your name, then you say 我叫. If you're saying who you are, like I am a police officer, I am a teacher, I am a councilman, then you will use the 我是. That is the difference. Also, the college student part, that was another thing. Well, 学生means student, but this da, that da means, if you run this whole thing together as one word, when they see this, that means college student. If we were to change this out and say 小, it will be elementary student. If we do 中, that means middle or high school student. If we did yan, like Juan, yan, if we did yan, that means graduate student. So by it being the DA in there, that's what gave it the college student. And I'm going to do another video with list of words so we can switch it out. Also, some practice sentences as well during the weekend on the reviews. So that way we can plug and play. So it's like we can do sentences like I am a what? I am another thing, which is going to strengthen the vocabulary because now we know this all together means college student. If it was just by itself, it would just say student. I am a student, but student of what? Or what kind of student, right? So they just say I am a student if we were to take this out. But when we switch this, it switches the type of student. Or it switches anything, any type of profession. You know, it could say I am a police officer. I am this, which means you got to know the word police officer in Mandarin, or law enforcement, or lawyer, or attorney, or whatever. When you start learning more words, if you can get the sentence structure together, just in and of itself, you can plug and play things in certain areas. And that's kind of why we're learning these sentences, because once we start learning these sentences, of course, that's not the goal. The goal is to mainly learn the word. We're using the sentences to see how they're written. Like, okay, like 今天 的天气很好. So now it's like 很好. Like we don't really need to know what that means yet, because we're going to find out what it means eventually, right? We're going to know what these individual things mean. Just like we know 今天 means today. But today, something is great, right? So how, I wonder if 很好 means great, or since great is there, is they put in the him before that type of word. So we have figured that out along the way, but it kind of gives us an idea that it's saying the weather is great today. So if we wanted to say something else other than weather, once we figure out which word in here means weather, right? So the weather is great today. We can put something in here, something else in weather. The water is great today, right? Whatever. When we start plugging and playing, we can start knowing where to plug words in to make our sentences better, if that makes sense. So that's kind of the goal, or that's my strategy in learning the words, but I also want to see it in context too, because the more I see it, I'm gonna start seeing what comes before. Like I see this g a lot, g, right? So I see this g a lot, and that's how I would be able to remember this. I know this is g even when I'm watching the shows. Just like I told you, this looks like a horse, and that's ma, right? And then I know ni, right? So certain ones I'm gonna be able to see. Also, if we go back up here to the top, our words here, let's play this here, that ma, okay? And it was something else I saw, this how. Okay, I see that little cut like the little horse over here for the ma, right? I see that horse. And then also these tiens are all the same at the end, right? All of these tiens are the same. So I'm like, okay, if I can get these tiens together, good. Then we got now mama. If we do mama, you see it's the horse, but look, it got that girly symbol in the front. That's in ni hao. It got that feminine symbol in the front, kind of like it does in our words here, where it got the feminine symbol in front of the ta for the girls. So that makes sense for mama to have that girly symbol in the front. Baba don't necessarily have the guy symbol in the front like this, but if you think about it, it kind of do at the top going sideways. Okay, so I'm kind of looking at stuff like this, guys. I'm looking at how it's made to give me clues on remembering it. Okay. So yeah, so that's what your girl is doing. These are the words, the 22 words that we just gonna skim over and look through and see if we can pronounce them and try to pronounce them correctly. If you need help pronouncing them or needing to learn how to pronounce them, you can go on YouTube. You can go into, I have an app on my phone, and let me see. It is called Pleco. Pleco. I got that app on my phone. So you can go in there. It's like a dictionary too. But it will give you sentences. It will let you know if it's a verb. It will give you other sentences as well. And it will also pronunciate the sound for you too. Yeah, so it's good to have. And you can type in the Pinyin and it will start bringing up the stuff in Pinyin as well as the Hansa. So I will put a link to that below. It's a app. I don't think they have it on the desktop. So when you click it, hopefully you're on your phone and it opens up. So that is the lesson for day 2. If you have any comments, leave them below. If you got some things that help you learn Mandarin, please share them with me. Anything to help. And again, you can you can subscribe and get the folder where I drop all of these in for free. And then that way you can have them in a PDF format and save them yourself and practice them if you would like. Okay. So until next time, bye.